you get back together with a person, if it's an SP situation, sometimes the old story flares up when you least expect it. They have behaviour that reminds you of the old behaviour. Or it's not exactly the behaviour you want yet. And guess what happens? You remember the old story. Trust me. Change the old story of them, darling. So now when you are talking, you're not seeing him as the old version. Okay? Because otherwise you'll get triggered by the old version. And work on your self-concept. You've got to learn to not react when they're right in front of you. You created them. What are you reacting for? When the no contact goes on and on and on, then you start getting desperate trying to get contact again. So yes, work on you, but work on you when you're with them, guys. You don't have to go into no contact to work on you. You should be working on you while they're fucking there. Because let me give you the tip, when they come back, if you're not still working on you, they leave again. Because all they're doing is reacting to your shitty thinking about yourself and them. And it was my thinking about the person and the thinking about my feelings that were being generated when I was in their presence. So see them differently and then you won't get affected by them. The more you've thrown away the old story of them, the more you've thrown away and forgotten the breakup, the more they'll show up exactly as you want. You have to throw away that old story, because if they're doing any kind of behaviour that triggers you, it's because you're thinking of the old story and thinking the old version of them when you broke up. And they actually won't show up as much with their old version when you've got rid of the old story of them. If it was all him, it had nothing to do with him. His feelings changed because of my fears. His feelings changed because of my constant monkey mind chatter of he's going to choose someone else over me. I felt didn't love me as much as I did him. And it wasn't true at all. It was just him reflecting my shitty thinking. The stuff you're insecure about, throw that shit away. The things that trigger you in life, you've got to write a whole new story of you, build your self-concept up, so when they do come back, nothing triggers you because your self-concept is Queen Meghan Markle levels. Okay? Up there. Nothing can bother you. If they say something that triggers you, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Change it in your mind. Give it good meaning, whatever they said. I don't know, they're just saying that because they love me so much. That's just the old them. He's changing. It's a reflection of your old thoughts. Don't get triggered by it when it shows up. Just know, I'm changing you. I'm changing you, motherfucker. I'm changing you. You've got to think that every time you look at them and you're triggered by them. Is it okay to cry when writing down old story? Absolutely, guys. Get that old story out of you. It'll trigger so many emotions. You might feel angry. You might feel sad. Absolutely. Some people are feeling sad just with like angry and sad and triggered by the self-concept affirmations I'm giving them. Because it's really changing your subconscious thinking. It'll fight you, your subconscious. Writing down an old story really might trigger a lot of you and it might be very cathartic. But do it. Don't worry about it. Okay, it's old thoughts. You were thinking it at some point. Don't beat yourself up and think you're thinking it now. You're changing your thoughts, Will, since I called, so don't worry. All that is old thoughts being reflected. Old you, now your new Will. Once new Will is fully settled in, the new reality will change and they won't be triggering you. Darling, the 3D is delayed. You probably thought about the bitch before. Did you think about the bitch before? Guys, the 3D has to catch up. If you've got new thinking and you weren't thinking about her and you've cut her out of your mind, that's the old you thinking coming out. The old it's a reflection of the old thoughts. Don't worry about it. When the 3D shows you something you don't like, guys, assess it and think, did I think about this before? Oh, yeah. It's just old. Don't be thrown by it. And don't even fucking look at his Instagram if it's going to throw you. Guys, please stop looking at their socials if it's going to trigger you. So many of you are obsessed with looking at their fucking stories and their snaps and this and that. And it's just like, stop looking at it. Because then you're going to find a reason to be upset, like seeing a third party. Your obsession with looking at socials is astounding to me. So you mean they unblocked you, they blocked you and then they unblocked you, and they've been viewing your stats and everything but not saying anything. Well, that's all right, darling. See it as movement. Give everything good meaning, guys. They've unblocked you, they're looking at your snaps or whatever. Great. Give it all good meaning. He can't stop thinking about me. He's obsessively looking at my stories every day, all day. I was on a chat to my best friend last night and I was saying to her, you're giving bad meaning to things without realising it. Stop giving it bad meaning. Give it all good meaning, even if it seems ludicrous and someone has not read your text. This is not what happened to her, but say someone's left you on read or someone's blocked you. Oh, they're so obsessed with me, they can't even look at me anymore. They're that obsessed. They have to block me to get them off their mind. Give it good meaning. I know it sounds ridiculous. They've left me on read because they don't even know what to say. They're trying to write the best love text ever, so they're going to give it time. So they can think of the right thing to say. Okay? They've fallen down a hole and they can't get out. They're trapped in a well. I'm sure when he gets out, he'll text me back. Start thinking stuff like that, guys. Someone blocks you, give it good meaning. Oh my God, they're so obsessed with me. They've blocked me so they can't see my socials and be triggered. Give it good meaning. And give them looking at your stories good meaning. Well, if it's not relating to SP, who cares? If it's not going to affect your manifestation, who cares what you do? But I'm just talking about reacting to them, reacting to being triggered by socials, etc. Whatever's related to your manifestation, guys, you don't want to react to. Okay? Everything else, go about your life, of course. Because they're not in front of you triggering you, darling. They're not in front of you triggering you. It's a lot harder when they're in front of you triggering you. That's why you've got to not react. I know this from experience. Yeah, of course you are, darling, because he triggers you. And it's all that old story coming back. I know that, darling. I know that feeling. It's because they're not showing up the way you want yet. The old story's still there. You really need to get rid of that old story. Okay? And when they're there in your presence, affirm in your head. I used to do that with my SP all the time. Lie in bed before he woke up and I'd affirm in my head. I'd stand in the kitchen next to him and affirm. If I was feeling shaky, if I was feeling nervous about what was going on. Okay? First of all, stop blowing up at them because realise it's your own thinking that caused the situation. So fucking stop that. I know it's hard, but stop. Secondly, know you created it so you can change it. Thirdly, affirm. Affirm your own fucking self-concept to get your self-concept on point so you don't keep blowing up at them. Guys, when you blow up at people, it's about you, not them. It's got nothing to do with them. Their actions you're reading into triggers your childhood shit. It's got nothing to do with them. You got to figure out what that childhood shit is, creative mama, and fucking rally against it with affirmations for yourself. Don't focus on them now. Focus on you. Revise the blow up. Act like it never fucking happened. Move forward. Revise it like it never happened. Wonderful, Sarah. Wonderful. We had our second call and Sarah got on track with concentrating on herself, focusing on herself and not looking at the 3D, not looking at socials, not getting triggered, got her mind back together and boom, he's back texting her. Okay, guys? How do you know what they're doing? They could just be friends. Stop giving meaning to shit you see on social media, guys. You guys are looking for reasons that they don't love you. You go to their socials. Oh, who's that girl? Oh, that's his ex. What does this mean? It's literally your reticular activating system finding reasons for your subconscious thoughts to be true. I'm not loved. He doesn't love me. Look at the picture. Then people will say, did you see that girl on the thing? And everyone's going to come at you with that information because that's what your mind thinks. Your subconscious mind is thinking you're not wanted by him. And so you'll find evidence of it all the time. Stop looking for it. Stop looking at it. Stop engaging in conversation about it if anyone discusses him with you. Okay? And start focusing in your mind that you're already together and stop focusing on that shit, darling. And stop looking at the socials if it triggers you. You don't even know why they're together. For all you know, they're friends. Stop giving everything bad meaning, guys, and stop looking at the socials if it triggers you. I beg you. So many of you are so triggered by social media. You've got to stop looking at it. If it triggers you, don't fucking look at it. Okay? Because it will just trigger you. You'll spiral. You'll think negative thoughts. You're trying to think of the news story. Imagine you and him together, and then you see them with a third party. You think, and the news story goes out the window. And your living in the end goes out the window. Don't look at it. Guys, if you're doing blocking to stop looking at their socials, go ahead. But don't block them to stop them contacting you. That's silly. But if you need to step away from the socials and it's triggering you looking at his page or his snap or whatever, snaps, then do block them for a little while you work on your self-concept. Absolutely. I don't believe in going no contact to form any kind of missing them energy. But if you need to do that to stop being triggered, then do it for a short amount of time. Okay? What the fuck are you looking at it for? What the fuck are you looking at it for? Guys, you've got to stop looking at their social media. It will throw you every time. Stop looking at it. It will trigger you. Jump back in your mind that you're together with her and forget all about it. How is your coaching much more effective than these other people, please? Well, I don't know if it is. All I know is that I'm getting to the core of your self-concept stuff more than other people, I think, because I'm asking you more questions about your childhood. I'm asking you about your triggers. I'm asking you about your subconscious stuff, and a lot of coaches aren't doing that, which really disturbs me. Some are, but a lot of people coming to me aren't. And they're concentrating too much on SP affirmations and on the specific person and not on changing you. And as Neville says, there's no one to change but self. Everyone's just a mirror. Don't get angry at them. They're just reflecting your subconscious thinking. Don't change the mirror. Change the face. So if you have to change the face, you have to get to the core of your shit. And then I give you specific affirmations and a specific plan of action based on your core stuff. And everyone's stuff is different. You can't just get a whole lot of SP affirmations, a whole lot of self-concept affirmations that everyone else got. It won't be specific to you. That's why. But I've only been coaching a couple of weeks, so I don't know. Get back to me in a year. I'll let you know how successful it's been.